Alright, let's watch this video now. Been waiting patiently to watch this one ever since I saw you dropped it earlier. Hell yeah.
On March 4th, 2022, these were the texts 21-year-old college student Gavin received after getting home from a night out with friends. Hey, is this Gavin? Yes, who's this? It's Alex. Where you at? Send your location. I'm at home. What happened to you?
As soon as the scary videos come on, Sick Boy said, "Peace the fuck out, bitch. I'm gone. See you later." Later, man.
What number is this? I'm using my friend's phone. We're stranded at the bar. Can you call us an Uber to your house? What? Why don't you just do it? Dude, my app isn't working. Just figure it out. I don't even know what that means. Just send your address. Gavin was out with his friends Alex and Omar, and they were last with each other at a bar in Dallas called Parliament. The trio was getting ready to wrap up the night, but Alex stayed behind when he saw other friends at the bar.
My phone is being terrible tonight. Just reset it in the internet. I reset the stream. It said you went offline. I haven't dropped any frames yet tonight, so it could just be Twitch servers being fucking weird.
So Gavin and Omar went home, and about an hour passed with no contact between the three. That was when Gavin received the text from the random number, and as you see, they claimed to be Alex using his friend's phone. Alex had lost his phone.
Yeah, exactly. Haven't dropped any frames
who Gavin
yet.
apparently had never met before. He was asking Gavin to call him an Uber, since according to him, it wasn't working on his phone. Gavin refuses, basically noting how silly that sounds, and tells him to call his own. The conversation picks up here, where Alex agrees to apparently call his own Uber and asks for Gavin's address. Gavin stated that this was around the time he was becoming slightly suspicious, but he still gave his address, however not without making a comment about how he should memorize his address by now. He says he cut him some slack due to the fact that he was drinking. Gavin asked him why he was using his friend's cell phone, to which he got a response that Alex lost his phone. He then lets them know that they're on their way, and when Gavin asks Alex if he knew his friend, he responds, "Nah, he's cool."
Oh god, that's
10
so
minutes later,
suspicious.
the number sends a text that truly starts to make the conversation suspicious. "Can we just come in through the front door when we get there?" As if asking Gavin to leave the door unlocked. It was at this moment that he started to question everything about the interaction, from the first text being, "Hey, is this Gavin?" to the asking Gavin to call them an Uber, to now the leaving the door unlocked. He tried to call the number, but it rang and went to voicemail. He then tried to text and call Alex's number repeatedly, but it would just keep going to voicemail, and the text would just say delivered. Gavin stopped answering this foreign number now, and called his friend Omar to ask him if he'd heard anything from Alex, to which Omar said he had not. After reading Omar all of the texts, Omar agreed something was off. They looked to call the bar Parliament, but there was no number listed online to call. Around this time, the number texted Gavin again, saying, "We're here, open the door." Gavin went to his door and looked through the peephole of the door. There was no one in immediate view though, which maybe at first would have implied it was all a prank.
Nope, they're gonna wait for him to open the door and then ambush his ass probably.
There was a knock at the door. Gavin checked the peephole again. There was still no one on the other side. Reality of the situation was setting in now for Gavin, as this was no longer just texts on a screen. Someone was actually on the other side of his door. So he asks, "Who is this?" Straight to the point. They reply with simply, "LOL." Gavin asks again, "Who is this?" And they reply, "Open the door." So instead of answering again, Gavin calls the police. The knocking persists for a few minutes, in long intervals. Then it stops for good when the person or people on the other end realize Gavin was onto them. Gavin went on to DM one of Alex's friends who he was hanging out with after he and Omar left. And almost instantly, the friend DM'd him back explaining that he, Alex, and their other friend were jumped by a big group of men in the street. They were all badly injured and went to the hospital. Alex's phone had been stolen, while one of his friend's wallets and phone was stolen. Alex not having a password on his phone meant all of his info and conversations were accessible. Alex's friend helped him in getting his phone locked. The police report that Gavin would get from the police who came to his house would later help Alex in getting his service provider to replace his stolen phone for him. The lack of a password on the phone meant the thieves were able to gain information such as Alex and Gavin's conversation, where they would deduce that Gavin was home alone and an easy target. So if Gavin didn't catch on to the suspicious situation, he may have been opening his door to 2 or more people ready to attack him too and rob his house. The phone number that was being used to text Gavin turned out to be another stolen phone, therefore didn't help in finding the thief. The case regarding finding the thieves and assaulters remains open.
Oh man.
These texts were received by an anonymous.
This just makes me, everything about this shit makes me so nervous to ever have kids. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like they'd be too trusting or something. You have to have your head on an absolute swivel these days with your kids. I mean, those guys were older and everything, but I can just imagine, like, if one of my kids ever got into a situation like that and didn't know what to do, like, I would hope they would consult with me first, but fuck, man. This is why I'm, like, almost too scared to have kids, because of all the shit they can get into now with phones.
Viewer.
Maybe that's a boomer mentality, but you know what? I don't care.
Kathy for the purpose of this recounting. The viewer will be called Rob. The reason Rob's dad ended things with Kathy was because of her increasingly erratic and delusional tendencies. Her mental health was declining for unknown reasons. Rob's dad was dating Kathy for about half a year, and Rob's grandparents both passed away during that time. Rob's dad wasn't very open at first about how Kathy would start acting all paranoid about his son's dead grandparents, about how she believed they placed a curse on her. Rob's dad cut ties with Kathy.
Oh yeah, it's very expensive. Very expensive.
Rob was left in the dark for the longest time about Kathy's delusions, though, presumably out of embarrassment for having spent so much time with a supposed nutjob. It wasn't long after his father's breakup with Kathy that Rob would receive texts from her himself. When her attempts at reaching his father no longer worked, she clearly went to him instead. Kathy texted Rob, "Hello, sweetie, I need your help." Rob replied with, "What? What's up?" "Your father's parents put a curse on me. I need you to tell me the cemetery and plot number they were buried at."
What?
"What do you mean they put a curse on you?" "I keep hearing their voices and having bad premonitions. I know it sounds crazy, but I need it to stop." Of course, being told by somebody that they were hearing your dead grandparents' voices would be a clear indication that the person is completely unhinged. So Rob went to show his dad the texts. His dad laughed and told him to just ignore her. Rob says that instead of blocking her though, he just let her continue to text him to see how crazy her text would get. She followed up later that night with, "I need to exhume their grave. If you help me out, I will sleep with you.
What the
I know
fuck?
you've always checked me out whenever I was in your dad's house." Rob still didn't answer, and the next day, her text got a little more graphic.
Okay.
Rob showed these texts to his dad, and this time his dad was not amused. He called Kathy and screamed that he would be getting a restraining order if she didn't stop. When he hung up, she kept trying to call until he ended up blocking her number. That same night, while Rob's dad was asleep, Rob was still in his den watching a show when he heard the doorknob jiggling. He went to look through the glass atop the door and saw Kathy fiddling with a knife in the key slot of the doorknob. She looked up at him and through the glass and started pleading with him to let her in. Rob called for his dad, and she started to scream no. When his dad came to the door, he screamed at her and then went to call the cops. Kathy would scream back constant obscenities and threats, waving her knife in the air. She didn't leave, and police arrived to her still at the door with knife in hand. Based on her coming to their house with a weapon and not leaving when asked, she was arrested, and Rob's dad filed for a restraining order against her. Clearly, Kathy was more than just delusional and was starting to suffer from some sort of mental illness, such as paranoid disorder. This does not mean she wasn't a danger to others though, as well as herself, evident by the knife she brought to their house and attempting to break into their house. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Yeah, and if he would have blocked her, who knows what would have happened.
An 18-year-old girl named Leanna, living in Hoboken, New Jersey, was at a local bar with her friend on a Saturday. That's when she got a notification that someone was trying to send her a message on Instagram. Usually people disregard these message requests, as they're messages from people you don't follow back on Instagram.
I have a million of these, dude. Literally every male Instagram account, you'll get a ton of these fake, like, bot accounts. It's always girls with their boobs hanging out, in bikinis, and with, like, the most generic names, like Rachel Johnson, you know, and it's like Rachel Johnson added you as a friend, and then you just see some picture just like this one, and they're always sending you hearts and trying to link you to shit. God, it's so annoying. Oh, guys, I have a funny story to tell you. I got approached by an advertising company on Instagram that tried to get me to pay them for a promo spot on their page. I was just browsing. I was just, scrolling my feed, and they fucking messaged me, and they were like, "Hey, so we see that you stream." And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, we offer, reasonable pricing for promotions." And I didn't even say anything at that point because I was like, all right, I'm just waiting to fire off the block. And of course I was, Jacob. Of course I was. Don't judge. But yeah, and then they were like, "Yeah, it's you know, it's $60 per promo hour. So every hour that we feature you on our page, and we have 50,000 followers, and we can guarantee growth. So fucking cringe, man. Like nobody's gonna follow you because you paid for a promo spot. That just makes you look desperate.
In a girl's shoes, those message requests are 9 times out of 10 men sending them flirtatious and often creepy messages. A lot of people don't ever check these messages.
Oh, by the way,
Once
companies look for that kind of stuff. There's like discords that do that kind of thing where it's like a follow for follow system, or there's discords that like people try to help each other grow and feature certain streamers and try to spam follower growth and stuff like that. Every company looks to see if you're in one of those before they offer you anything. If you're in one of those, they will rescind any offer immediately. So never ever do that. It makes you look really bad, and it also makes you a brand risk. So don't ever do that stuff.
Sometimes when you get that notification that someone sent you a message request, curiosity gets the better of you. In this case, Leanna opened the DM, and it was from some random account with no profile picture and no followers,
McSwiggins?
asking her if she was at McSwiggins, a local bar in Hoboken. Right away, this is cause for alarm, of course, because this would be coming from someone who knew where she was at that exact moment. Someone intentionally using a fake Instagram account.
Jesus.
Leanna follows with, "Yes, who's this? You look good in that pink top. Aren't you 18 though? Shouldn't be in a bar. I won't tell anyone though. Who is this? Just a guy who thinks you're really attractive." By this point, Leanna assumes it's a prank by someone she knows and asks who's messing with her. The person replies it's neither of the names she just mentioned. Upon Leanna asking for a selfie, the person replies, "Can't." The girls look around the bar for anybody that could be alone, mainly an older, predatory-looking man. They saw a few men that appeared to be alone sitting at the bar. None of them were eyeing the girls, though. That's when she says, "Okay, bye, we're leaving." Moderately uncomfortable, the two girls leave the crowded bar and start walking. They go to another bar nearby, which is
Why
far
did you
less
think
crowded
that
than
was
the
gonna
first.
work?
They sit at the bar and order a few drinks, looking for young guys to talk to. When Leanna's phone vibrates again, and she gets another creepy message from the person. It said, "This is my favorite bar, good choice." Leanna shows her friend the message, and then the two start looking around the bar for someone who could be sending the messages. And as if he was looking to be found out, Leanna saw a man sitting on the bar stool closest to the door, looking at her with a blank, wide-eyed expression. She says the best way she could describe his appearance was the killer from the movie The Lovely Bones.
Oh no.
Mainly because of his glasses, hair, and mustache.
Not
They
the
made
mustache.
extended eye contact, to the point that it seemed the man was outwardly trying to be creepy, making it obvious who he was. The girls asked the bartender for help. They showed him the DM she was getting and then pointed at the man, who in response to being pointed at, started looking around the room, in any direction but towards the girls. The bartender went over and told the guy in a loud, commanding voice to leave the bar without question, threatening to kick his ass if he didn't leave the girls alone. The man left the establishment, surely feeling at least some sense of embarrassment, as anyone would. Leanna and her friends stayed at the bar for about half an hour, only to avoid running into the man outside. But Leanna says their mood to stay out was gone after that creepy encounter, and they just wanted to know who that was, or how he knew Leanna and where she was at that moment. When the girls left, they began walking home. They were on 2nd Street, a quiet one-way road, especially at the hour they were walking. They were being mindful of their surroundings, making sure they weren't being followed. But
Just
even
have
when
a
you
really
think you're
bad
aware of
feeling
your
about this one.
surroundings, the unexpected can always happen. Leanna and her friend heard running footsteps from behind them out of the blue, and there was no time to react
What's
before
up,
the
Streaming Fist? Yeah, I know. Like, get an Uber. Maybe if it's Hoboken, New Jersey. Surely they had an Uber, unless this happened like 10 years ago.
the hour they were walking. They were being mindful of their surroundings, making sure they weren't being followed. But even when you think you're aware of your surroundings, the unexpected can always happen. Leanna and her friend heard running footsteps from behind them out of the blue, and there was no time to react before the man grabs Leanna with one arm around her face and mouth and the other around her waist. He picked her up as she tried to scream and fight, and of course her friend did the screaming for her, and continued to hit at the man. The commotion caught the attention of people from around the corner, and a few people came to the scene. The man released his grip from the girl and walked away quickly. Nobody went after the man. The girls called the police there on the spot. Leanna showed the police the DMs, and 2 witnesses backed up their story as well. A police report was made and a case was opened to find the man in question.
Never found him, I bet.
Leanna would speak to detectives at her home a few days later, who gathered all the information she could give. They would later use the surveillance footage from the 2 bars, but the police have not yet been able to match the man seen in the footage to anybody. As a precaution, she still has her Instagram disabled to this day. If someone is dedicated enough, they can find someone through their Instagram by keeping track of what places they go to in their pictures, what school they go to, and who they associate with. That's why it often is a good idea to keep your Instagram private.
We've seen this story many times. We've seen that story many times. Girls or guys, whoever, you take a picture with like a street sign or something, and there's a fucking freak out there that'll find out exactly where you live, or at least the general area, based on that alone. All right, Nightmare Fuel time. Let's go. Mr. Nightmare doesn't have a new upload for us, so we have to go spelunking this time. How about we just search Nightmare Fuel? Oh, chills. Let's go. Number 15. Let's go, chills. I love chills, man.
Do you consider yourself a rational person? Then hold
Yes, I love that he's still doing it. I love that he's still doing it.
on tight,
Yes.
because these are the scary videos that defy all logic. Number 15. Turn around.
This makes
For
me
the
so
love
happy,
of all
dude.
that is holy, look out behind you. Posted to TikTok by Haunting Facts. This TikToker is dancing in a parking
Oh my god, I love this guy.
garage and doesn't seem to realize that something is watching. And
Listen to how he introduced this video. Listen how he introduced this video. For the love of all that is holy.
you. Posted around. For the love of all that is holy, look out behind you. Posted to TikTok by Haunting Facts.
What's up,
This
Jordan?
TikToker is dancing in a parking garage and doesn't seem to realize that something is watching. And not only watching, it's
What's up,
coming
Scam Train?
closer. Watch closely as the TikToker performs her choreography.
Oh my god. Oh, that's
After
fake.
moving to the right, a figure is seen creeping up behind her. He is so close that he could reach out and touch her. The figure looks like a man with his back facing the girl. Unaware, she jumps to the left, and the figure is again blocked from view.
Oh, no.
This man went unseen earlier in the clip. You don't see him approach, even though the girl starts dancing further back from the camera. Where did this guy come from? Did he just materialize out of thin air? And what does he want? Some TikTokers say he's obviously Batman, while others are having trouble.
He did not just say that. He did not just say some TikTokers say that he's obviously Batman. Holy shit. You can't just do that out of nowhere, dude.
Seeing the figure. Some TikTokers say he's obviously Batman, while others.
Oh my god. Oh, make it stop. This was worth it all for that. He's obviously Batman. Yep. That's the only explanation, dude. Some TikTokers. Okay. All right, I got tears, dude. I gotta clean this stuff up. Give me just a second. We'll get back to the video, okay? Holy shit. Well, that was quick. It took us no time to get into the wheeze laughing on a chills video. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. That was the best line, dude. That was the best. Some TikTokers say that it was obviously Batman. I gotta hear that one more time. Does anybody talk about this? Oh my god.
Where did this guy come from? Did he just materialize out of thin air? And what does he want? Some TikTokers say he's obviously Batman, while others are having trouble seeing the figure at all. But Sydney's having no trouble. She writes, "Bro, I saw it and it actually gave me a little heart attack. Sounds like Sydney might need a break from the scary videos." Number 14. What is that? This 4-part TikTok series is a journey. Posted by Breadcrumb and Beaver's Pit, the TikToker was working her shift when she spotted something creepy between a crack in the ceiling tiles. It looks like an old man's face or a shrunken head.
So I was staring at my ceiling right at work, and then I see this light right, and I go over here.
Oh,
In the second video, the TikToker reveals the outside of this building. She says part of the building was a school from the 1920s. She enters the kitchen. The face thing is still exactly where it was last time, seemingly peering through the cracks. She tries to lift the ceiling tile using a broom.
Why is
At
it?
this point, she thinks it's either insulation or a rope.
Here's the legendary area. It's still there. Just chilling. The villain.
How do you? That does just look like a rope, though.
Next video sees her climbing up a stepladder to investigate. After lifting the tile, you don't really see the face thing, but you do see that there's a whole other room up there. In the last video, the mystery is solved. Lifting the ceiling tile, you can see what the object is. As the OP suggested earlier, a
just rope.
rope. What was it used for? The OP
I don't know, Sky. But I love this guy. I absolutely love this guy. I've been watching his stuff for years, man. For the love of all that is holy, look out behind you. That was the best.
theory is an old school bell, although you may think the saga is over. Some in the comments are seeing and hearing new mysteries. One hears something crying in this last clip, and some even claim to see a new person peering down at her. I am not personally seeing or hearing any of that, so we'll just stick with the rope. Mystery solved. Number 13. Ghost of Longleat Castle. Longleat Castle is a stately home in England, built in the 16th century.
It just makes me
serves
happy, dude. It just makes me smile listening to this guy. I'm so glad he's still around and doing this. So glad.
as the seat of the Marquess of Bath, and apparently of a ghost. Published by Steve Hugh in March of 2013, this scary video shows the ghost in action. As the lights flicker overhead in a hallway, a shadow figure descends the staircase. You can see the figure's footprints take each step until it arrives at the bottom of the stairs, where it casts a shadow on the hardwood floor. There are clanking noises throughout the entire video.
That's a cool effect, though.
Footsteps. They seem to be coming closer and closer to the cameraman, while the shadow moves further and further away.
This is just like haunted house stuff, but it is a really cool effect. It's neat.
When the shadow figure disappears at the end of the hallway, the lights start flickering there as well. Is this genuinely paranormal? While many in the comments say this is compelling and looks legit, others say that this video is either edited or that it could be a hologram effect at Longleat Castle to freak out guests who visit. What do you think is really going on here? Number 12. Psycho Stalker. This TikToker has documented her neighbor harassing her for months. The following clips are evidence of the terrifying stalking, posted to TikTok by Maddie Panic. Maddie writes that she lives alone, and she's reported this neighbor several times. In the first video, you can see her neighbor through her peephole, waiting outside her apartment door. The video shows a man wearing a hooded sweatshirt, getting very close to the door as though he's listening in. The man's
fucking
mouth
weird.
is moving, but what he's saying is inaudible. He quietly knocks on the door. After no one answers, the man backs up and waits there. Later, Maddie captures what we can assume is the same man trying her doorknob. You can see the knob shaking, but the door is locked. Maddie looks out the peephole again, and you can only see the top of the man's head, like he's down low, trying to hide from view,
Oh,
or maybe
camera
even
angle.
trying to use tools to get in. You can vaguely hear him say he knows that she's here. Well, this video is scary enough. A second video turns our fear up a notch. The man apparently lives next door to Maddie, and he
Okay,
tried
why
to
is she not
smash a
called the
hole
cops, though?
right through her wall. She captures the damage on video and reassures viewers that cops are on the way.
Okay, started to
Maddie
say.
turned this TikTok account into pure documentation of this stalker's behavior. Her latest video shows she is safe and now in a new apartment. Maddie's advice to other individuals who find themselves in a similar situation.
Yeah, it did. Streaming
is to
Fist. What's up, by the way?
document everything and protect themselves. This was truly one creepy neighbor. Number 11, whirlpool in the sky. In March of 2019, the sky opened up over the city of Al Ain in the UAE, scaring everyone within a 10-mile radius. Posted by Mr. Potek in November of 2019. This footage was originally posted to Twitter by Ibrahim Al Jarwan, reported to be an astronomer and meteorologist by the Daily Mail. The footage of the strange whirlpool in the sky was captured while driving.
That looks really
the
cool,
video
though.
went viral, as many were left mystified about what it could be. Are we really looking at a portal to another world? If so,
Of course
what
we
world
are.
we
Yep, that's
entering?
definitely what it is.
I just wish we had more footage of this event. It would help us solve this mystery once and for all. Number 10, CCTV ghost. Well, this man was checking his home CCTV at night. He captured something he didn't expect. Published by Scary Desk in November of 2021. The scary video shows the man setting up his camera and checking that it's angled well in his yard. But as he's doing so, look behind him. A creepy face peeks out from behind a bush in the background.
Yeah, his friend in
It
a
remains
costume.
in view even as a car passes by behind it.
I mean, the channel's called Scary Desk. Come on.
The face then slowly disappears back behind the bush. A closer look shows the creature's bizarre features. While it looked human from far away, it doesn't exactly look that way close up. Is this being wearing a mask? And why is it hiding?
I love this guy's
Whatever's
tone, man.
going on here,
I hated it when I
seems
first
this
heard it
man
years
set up
ago,
his
but now I love
security
it.
cameras just in time. Number 9, haunted hotel room. What's in the closet of this hotel? Posted by Horror Talk, this TikToker appears to be filming your standard hotel lockbox on a top shelf of the closet, only this one's not so standard. The lockbox keeps beeping and flashing sixes, the sign
Oh,
of the
no.
devil, after which it repeatedly shows an error. The girl is far away from the lockbox, and no one else is in the room. She says she just got back from the hotel bar and was reading a scary book when this started happening. Some think the 6 key was just pressed too many times and is malfunctioning. Others think the ghost is just
I don't
trying
know,
to get
Jordan,
his
but I love it.
valuables. But
He,
what
he made this clickbait video years ago called Why Do I Talk Like This? And he basically spent the whole video talking about irrelevant stuff that had nothing to do with why he talks like this. And then at the end, he just goes, I don't know. I just do. Right here.
nowhere, right? And then another instance, I recently went to New York for the first time. Personality, nor do I want to be really ever like that kind of person. I'm at this place right now. If you're in the area, hopefully I didn't offend anybody, or you guys think differently of me in a poor regard based on my opinions that I have. And ever since then, I always wanted to be a YouTuber.
Like he never even explained it. He just used this whole stream to talk about irrelevant stuff. Like, well, I mean, not irrelevant. He wanted to talk about it, but he didn't address the title.
I'm wondering is what's in the box. Number 8, paranormal.
Oh, and he did not just.
Others think the ghost is just trying to get his valuables. But what I'm wondering is what's in the box. Number 8, Paranormal encounter, a
That was
mysterious
awesome.
robed figure, an abandoned home. This clip has me on edge. Published by Kisa Weba in April of 2022.
This
and
clip has
originally
me on
published by
edge.
YouTuber Hisham Al-Daimak. This video is trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The footage shows a group of paranormal investigators exploring an abandoned home. As they look toward one room, one of the crew starts shouting. The cameraman turns around and finds this behind him.
Bismillah. Atla. Fatma.
The robed figure walks slowly away from them, not responding to their repeated calls. It's unclear if this is a paranormal figure who appeared there, a jinn perhaps, or if it's one of their own crew fallen under a trance. Is this a possession or an apparition? Tell me what you think in the comments. Number 7, ghostly growl. The historic Jefferson Hotel is a hotbed for paranormal activity. And this is one of the creepiest pieces of evidence yet. Published by the hotel in March of 2021, a security camera captured this incident in one of the hotel's hallways. In the clip, a guest of the hotel is seen looking for her husband. She asks a couple walking by if they've seen him. As they're talking, a deep guttural growl is heard. They all hear it and jump back. You can see their reaction here.
Jumped back as if something was like yelling at them down the hall. You could see they were all scared.
The couple walks away while the first guest is left alone with whatever made this noise. The hotel's caretaker says that the male guest seen in this video asked him where the speaker was. The man thought the hotel was in the business of ambiance, so had hidden speakers in the floor to add to the haunting atmosphere.
He thought that they were in the business of ambiance. That is the weirdest way you could possibly go about describing what just happened there.
Was in the business of ambiance, so had hidden speakers in the floor to add to the haunting atmosphere. The problem is that he was wrong. After being asked this, the caretaker, knowing there weren't any speakers, pulled up video from a second camera at the end of the hallway in the direction of the growl. This is what he found.
So, did you hear that growl?
The growl sounds very animalistic, almost demonic. Is this one of the many demons that haunt the halls of the Jefferson? Or is someone playing tricks? Number 6, Haunted House. Listen closely. Published by Lee Boggs in April of 2011. You're gonna want to turn up the volume for this one. In the darkness, the team first hears a banging noise coming from another room.
It's like ghost hunters here.
Do it again.
They hear more of the same, this time from another direction.
Oh, what was that? I heard that.
You hear that?
That was coming back from here.
Hell yeah.
It came from in front of me. No, that was back here.
Later, a scuffling sound is heard. Then, while one of the crew feels a cold chill, another feels dizzy, like he's about to fall over.
Make a noise. Oh, man.
Whoa, I felt a cold chill.
I thought that was gonna damn fall over, man. I felt dizzy.
I felt a cold chill.
You okay?
As the investigation is just about to wrap up, they hear a voice. As they're trying to figure out where it came from, a strange roaring is blaring in the background. Yet the guys can't seem to hear that. It almost sounds like they're walking through a wind tunnel.
You're scared of
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you do that again?
Dude, that was a voice.
Yeah, it was.
Right down here.
We got ourselves a couple of good old boys.
Where'd it come from? Right there, wasn't it? Right about there where the bathroom was.
Around here.
Right there about where the bathroom is.
Do you hear it too? I do. Number 5, Ghost Rushes Past. Seeing is Believing. Published by Cryptic Media in October of 2007.
Okay, 2007. I started to say, this is an immediate suspicion for me when it's a newer video that looks like this. Dude, cameras have been 4K on your phone since 2013. So if you upload a video that's a supposed ghost sighting in the year 2022 and it looks like this, automatically you're faking it. You made it look shitty to obfuscate things. Like, dude, there's no way your phone camera is that bad in 2022. No way. Even the cheapest of phones look amazing.
Sharing his experience with the paranormal when the paranormal occurs in plain sight right behind him. The man is explaining to his friend about a time when he felt like he was ambushed.
Don't worry about it, Dr. Red.
He describes
What's up, by the way?
something unseen holding him by the neck while the bottom half of
I
his
love
body
chills,
was
dude.
rising.
In bed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, what happened?
No, I was just like laying in bed, you know what I'm saying? And dozed off, and when I dozed off, something like grabbed a hold of my neck right here.
But as he explains, watch the dark doorway behind him. A ghostly pale figure moves past in a flash. Although you can't make out what the figure is, it appears to be glowing. Some in the comments think it could have been someone else who lives there passing by the door, but commenter Jennifer Mills Young disagrees. She writes, interesting because the spirit appears to have a light source shining on it or is giving off its own in the dark hallway. It is only highlighted in part. Is this the ghost the man is talking about? Or are these guys contending with numerous phantoms? Number 4, the eyes. The garbage has eyes. Posted to the paranormal evidence subreddit. See Holly Molly right.
The garbage has eyes, dude.
Phantoms. Number 4, the eyes. The garbage has eyes. Posted to the paranormal evidence subreddit. See Holly Molly writes.
My
First
God.
noticed the eyes about 2 years ago. The ones next to the hose reel. She says this is a black plastic bag with sand in it, with no tape or reflective stickers attached. The security footage shows the garbage bag and its eyes. At some points throughout the clip, it even looks as though the eyes are blinking. The Redditor says the eyes appeared nearly a week after the bag was placed there. Some Redditors in the comments say it's pareidolia, while others think it's a residual artifact from the camera. Are we seeing a face that is not there?
I think the wind or a ghost stole my wax. It's gone. It was in my toolbox and I had the garage open. I can't even find the parchment paper. Send it into chills, dude. It's definitely a ghost.
Or is this a
It might even be a Jen.
real life Oscar the Grouch? Number 3.
No, he did not just say that.
Not there? Or is artifact from the camera? Are we seeing a face that is not there? Or is this a real life Oscar the Grouch? Number 3, Forest Ghoul. While out on his porch, this young man spots 2 green eyes peering back at him from the darkness. Published in June of 2020, Jimmy Reynolds lives near the edge of the woods, so it would be safe to assume that any number of woodland creatures are nearby. But what kind of creature is this? He approaches the eyes in the darkness, speaking out to it.
See, there it is. Hey. Oh, what the f***? You don't see that.
But as he gets
I know, it
closer
could just be a
and
cat.
apparently runs off, Jimmy thinks it could be a cat or a dog, but people in the comments are of the opinion that it's something much larger. Some say it's a skinwalker or a crawler. Others say it could be a forest ghoul. Cat Anonymous writes, it's probably stalking your house for food. Not sure if it eats humans. In any case, this dude better lock his doors. Number 2, Devil Ghost. Is this an escapee from an asylum?
What?
Or a
That's
devil
so
ghost
fake.
caught on camera? Published by Ghost Fighter Live in March of 2022. This figure in white was captured prowling around in the darkness on a dirt path. With long dark hair, the figure's robe is long-sleeved and drapes over her hands, which makes her all the creepier for some reason. She disappears and reappears at other points around the yard. Then, a man on a rickshaw
Please.
carrying 2 women arrives on site. Upon seeing the figure, the man jumps off the bike and immediately flees, leaving the 2 passengers to fend for themselves.
We saw a video like this just the other day from Saudi Arabia.
The women too run off, but they return for a moment, not wanting to leave whatever's on the cart behind, but unable to lift it, they flee again. As the demon gets closer, she approaches the cart, and as she does, her figure becomes more and more semi-transparent. She lifts the sheet from the object
Yeah,
on
so
the
is the
cart,
bike.
which turns out to be a person. The person also becomes semi-transparent and awakens momentarily from the cart. What's going on here? Is this a ghost greeting another ghost? Or is this ghost welcoming these people to the afterlife? I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far,
Oh my
why
God.
not like this video and hit subscribe?
Nope. I will
Every
sub
week.
though. I will sub, but I won't like.
Dylan is chilling. Apparition on the stairs. An infrared camera was directed toward a stairway
And here's
in
this
a
here's
haunted
the
home.
pixelation.
This is what it captured. Published by Electrica Man in October of 2006. The cameraman casts the shot toward the top of the stairs, appealing
I'm
to
glad
the
you didn't
ghost
have to get a
talk
priest
to
though, Jordan.
them.
It's a
While
big
the
relief.
spirit doesn't make a peep, you can see a child-sized apparition move out of view at the top of the stairs.
Ah, I got you, Scam Train. I actually have water ready. Let's go.
You have to look closely as the semi-transparent figure vanishes quietly from the landing into the adjacent hallway. Is this ghost camera shy? Chris Halton of Haunted Earth TV shares in the comments, as an investigator, I have noticed a connection between IR light and spirits.
Yep, I have
They
coffee
do
right now,
react
actually.
against the infrared light. He adds that this footage is the most compelling he's seen. What do you think? It seems to me that some very mysterious stuff is going on in this home. I guess you didn't read the title when you chose to watch this video. Either that or you're really looking for something scary.
Oh, the first one was amazing, dude. Anyways, let's watch another Chills video. Let's go. Yeah, it's supposed to be raining here soon too as well, Scam Train.
Coming up in this video...
Gotta pound down some fuel.
You know these videos
I know.
are
Yeah,
true.
it's great, Dr. Red. It's high calorie, but you only use, like I said, 2 tablespoons. So the peanut butter in this comes out to only 200 calories. And the oatmeal is like the same. So, I mean, it's 400 calories. It keeps you full for hours. Like, it's so low calorie, it's great. Whereas you could eat like fast food or something else and eat 1,000 calories and you'll be hungry faster.
Really scary when they're frightening the internet at large. These
How
are the
old is that
scary
video?
Videos leaving viewers on edge. Number 30, Chased. What would you do if you came upon something like this in progress? Published in November of 2021, Kevin King explains that he stopped at a traffic light in San Jose, California, while doing a delivery when he heard a woman screaming.
Women screaming.
This was all captured on his dash cam. We can see the woman racing across the intersection and into a gas station parking lot, a man following close behind. You can hear car horns beeping while the pair disappears into the parking lot. The driver said that before he could decide how to react, a police officer was on the scene. The officer quickly activated his lights and followed. You can see that too on camera.
Oh, at least the cop was
Well,
there.
it's not clear what's happening between the pair. I can't imagine it was anything
Seems like she was
good.
running toward
I
that
hope
store.
She was able to make
Gas
it
station, whatever
somewhere
it is.
safe. Number 29, Down the Drain. If you're afraid of what's living in the pipes,
Oh,
you might
what
want
the
to skip
fuck?
this video. Posted to the oddly terrifying subreddit, Bad Hand Ganache writes, guess what I found under the wash basin
Ugh.
sink? The creepy footage shows what appears to be slimy, flesh-colored appendages sticking their pointy tentacles through the holes in the drain, but the clicking sound makes it seem like pinchers instead.
What the fuck is this? That is disgusting.
What is it? The creature keeps clawing and pinching, trying to get out, but I don't want it to.
Oh, it looks like a rat.
The Redditor explains in the comments that it's a shrew that got inside
Yeah.
the water pipes through an opening while they were working on it.
Yeah.
She writes, The shrew escaped from that sink, but still regularly wanders around other parts of
It
the
looked
house
like a rodent
during
of some kind.
midnight. It's not terrifying as long as it's not inside the sink or something. I'd beg to differ. That thing is freaky no matter where it's lurking. Number 28, Screaming Tornado. What would you do if you were forced to wait out a tornado in your car? Probably exactly what this Ocala resident did. Published by Fox 35 Orlando in March of 2022, Alex Sierra posted this video of himself, in his own words, screaming like a girl as a tornado ripped through the area, sitting outside a restaurant and waiting out the storm. Sierra caught his very understandable reaction on video. As the weather worsened, the scattered rain becomes a torrent, and the wind picks up. Within seconds,
a tornado, a legitimate tornado will lift your car up easy as hell. So that is not a good, yeah, that is a horrible place to be. You're exactly right, Dr. Red.
Surroundings. He starts to scream in what sounds like excitement at first, but then quickly turns to terror as objects are thrown at his windshield.
Excitement. No. He had to point out that objects were hitting the windshield in case I couldn't see that. A tree fell on someone? Holy shit. How often does New Zealand even get tornadoes, man? Maybe I'm just a filthy American, but I don't tend to hear about foreign tornadoes a lot because, like, the biggest center of tornadoes in the world is in America, I think. Tornado Alley. I'm telling you guys, this is delicious. It tastes like you're eating a slightly liquefied peanut butter granola bar. It is so good. Yeah, Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, those kind of places.
When the wind clears, you can see debris scattered across the parking lot, most of which are cardboard boxes and styrofoam. The camera turns to the right and his passenger side window is shattered.
Oh,
he
shit.
shouts, "The styrofoam took out the window."
The styrofoam! It took out the window!
He pulls up to the adjacent store and you can see nearly every window has been shattered. While many are entertained by this man's screaming,
He just needed Batman to stop the tornado.
He is surprised by his great luck.
Batman is just going to stand in the road, and as the tornado is cycloning, Batman just starts spinning the opposite direction, unspins the tornado, and the day is saved.
Man, that double rainbow guy keeps capturing crazy acts of nature. Number 27, Dog Stops Tornado. This dog has superpowers. Published by Various in July of 2019. In a battle between a dog and a tornado,
he just flies
you'd
away.
expect the latter to win, but not this time. A mini tornado or dust devil began to take form on this dirt road. You can see children playing
I've
nearby.
seen those before.
Completely unbothered, a dog jumps onto the scene and starts playing with the tornado. He steps right into its path. Luckily, the dust devil isn't too powerful and simply vanishes and then reappears moments later a foot away. The dog continues to pounce on it, stopping the tornado
That is
from
a very good
forming
boy.
yet again. While most in the comments admire the dog's bravery, others are comparing him to other famous dogs. Commenter Bread and Butter writes, "If Toto would have done his job, there wouldn't have been a Wizard of Oz. Take a bone out of this dog's book, Toto." Number 26, Police Impersonators.
What the
Anyone
fuck?
can claim they're the police.
What the hell
but
was
if they're
that?
dressed like this, would you believe them?
Nope.
Published by Click2 Houston. This scary home incident involves suspects posing as fake police officers.
Oh, dude, we had that happen on the doorbell security cameras, where the guys were just like, yeah, whatever police department, and the guy was like, can I see a badge? And he's like, we don't need to show you our badge. Just open the door. It's like, actually, they do. If you have a quote-unquote police officer, and they're not even willing to show you a badge or uniform of any kind, yeah, they're not police.
Multiple suspects broke down the door of an apartment in southwest Houston, impersonating officers of the Houston Police Department. Reported to the police around midnight on March 18th of 2022. The resident was fast asleep in his apartment when he heard banging on his front door. Grabbing protection, he was met with male suspects kicking down his apartment door and storming in, also armed.
I fail to see how they're
The
impersonating
homeowner
police,
says
though.
the suspects claimed to be HPD as they entered, but he did not believe them and defended himself.
Good on him.
The men captured on security footage certainly don't look like police, as they're dressed all in black, their faces fully masked, and they're wearing gloves to prevent fingerprints. The suspects answered his defense and then fled the scene. No one was hurt in the confrontation.
That's crazy.
Number 25, baby escape. A young man on a bicycle came across a toddler wandering alone on the street and came to his rescue. Published by Volusia
Wait, how is
Sheriff's
this?
Office in
Oh, okay. How's this a scary video that leaves people on edge, though?
May of 2020. This video shows deputies arriving at the scene in the neighborhood of Deltona. The young man stayed with the baby as he was dangerously close to the busy streets, and when adults showed up, they called the police.
Is it this little guy?
Yeah. He was so close to the street. There you go. Scary.
The officer's body cam shows them snap a photo of the toddler to email to the department. Then they get to work, knocking on doors to see if they can reunite the child with his family. They soon find the child's mother, who didn't even realize her toddler had gone missing.
Jesus.
She was napping when he slipped out of the house.
Is this him?
She's gonna feel bad about that forever.
Is that, ma'am, is this your son?
Yes, why?
Okay, hold on. What's the address here?
We were sleeping.
As the mother waits for her son to be returned, she breaks down while the officer tries to console her.
Relax. Relax, relax, relax. Look, you're okay. Okay?
Yep, just consider yourself lucky and move on. That's all you can do.
Where's the little boy? Okay, he's with the other sergeant.
The sheriff's office notes, "This is a good reminder for all parents of toddlers. Make sure you know who's watching the kids and make sure your doors are secure. All it takes is a few seconds and your child is headed off to explore." Thankfully, the community was watching out for him. Number 24, kitchen possession. What has come over this cook?
That woman's toddler walked out apparently, or got out of the house somewhere, and people found him while he was close to a busy road. So they called the police and just waited for the police to show up, and then the police just started knocking on doors and found out where his mom was. This looks fake as hell, by the way.
And will he survive it? Published by Blah Blah in April of 2022. This scary video
2022 and the video quality is this bad.
YouTube
Okay.
community. The video shows a man working in a kitchen. He is captured earlier on the security camera cooking as normal and chatting with kitchen staff. He doesn't seem to be having any issues at all. It is only after he's placed some food in the deep fryer and is removing it that he suddenly becomes transfixed by something. He appears unsteady.
I'm only
for
gonna
a
watch till I'm done with
moment,
the food.
but then seems to return to a normal state of mind, finishing his task that doesn't last for long. He sets down his spatula and his body starts jerking dramatically as he stands over the deep fryer. He is clearly having some sort of fit, or as some viewers suggest, could he be possessed? Whatever is happening, he doesn't seem to have control over his movements. His arms and neck jerk, his head rolls back, his mouth wide open. He then closes his eyes and leans
It could be a
directly
medical
over
thing.
what he's cooking. You can imagine what happens next.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm wondering what could have taken over this man's body. I'm more concerned about whether or not he came out of this unscathed.
Yeah, for real. Oh my
Number
God.
23, raw seafood. Well, most people enjoy sushi. They usually don't want their seafood to be this alive. Published by NDTV Food
I hope
in
he
April
is.
of
Holy shit.
2022, and first shared on Instagram by Takiro4601. This meal at a Japanese restaurant is a little too alive. The creepy video shows what appears to be a raw fish coming to life on the plate, served alongside some leafy greens, glass noodles, and a slice of lemon. The fish or eel is lying on the plate still at first, but as soon as a pair of chopsticks near the fish's mouth, it opens wide and chomps on them with
That
sharp
is just
teeth. It appears to clamp down hard as
Questionable.
the man holding the chopsticks tries to pull them away. The shocking video has been viewed millions of times. Some write that the eel is passed on, but its nerves are acting up, which is fascinating. Regardless, most viewers are horrified, with some saying they wish they could unsee this. Do you? I guess not everyone is a fan of sushi. Number 22. Serial stalker. A man in Sacramento has
You're
been
glad I'm
captured on
live.
multiple...
Dude, I'm eating oatmeal and peanut butter. This is such a good combo because it's relatively low calorie, but it keeps you full for a very long time. Or I guess I should say it keeps you from being hungry for quite a while. So no sugar added peanut butter, no sugar plain oatmeal, 3 packets of stevia. So it is still sweetened.
Surveillance videos following women home, published by CBS Sacramento in March of 2022. A Ring doorbell cam captured the suspect who loitered outside her doorstep, refusing to leave. The footage shows the man following the woman in his Nissan as she went to drop off her 2-year-old at her parents' house. He can be seen pulling to the side of the road and backing up. The woman went inside, and the man only left when her father scared him away. A second Ring doorbell camera captured the same man pulling the same stunt at a residence less than a mile away. There, a woman came to pick up her children from her mother's, only for the suspect to pull into the driveway and approach the doorstep, where he lingered. The man then rang the doorbell and asked for the girl in the house.
He walked up to my door after parking his car in my driveway, and he says, "Hola."
Rosa says he asked for the girl in the house.
"I can't help you." I closed and locked the door.
Sacramento police have fielded many calls with the same story. A suspect in an Altima approaching residents and refusing to leave. Though a vehicle matching this description was found and towed, police are still searching for the suspect. Number 21. Creepy creature. What has attached itself to this poor goat? Published by Rexiel Tinitigan in November of 2021 and originally posted to TikTok. A dark creature in Indonesia was caught in the night draping from this goat. Penned in, the goats are making loads of noise as the owners get closer to see what the creature is. They enter the pen with a rake and get closer to the goat in question. The thing that's attached itself to the goat is hanging beneath its belly, with its arms wrapped around its prey. It looks very hairy and appears to have a long tail. Is it a monkey? They try to pry the creature off the goat using sticks. After successfully extracting the creature, the goat runs off, and the men back off too. They throw stuff at the creature, trying to get it to flee. While chupacabra are the well-known vampiric creatures that prey on goats, and whose name literally means goat sucker, they aren't known to inhabit Indonesia, but rather Mexico and Latin America. Cited reports have, however, reached the Philippines and China. Has this one migrated? Or is it some other life-ending creature of livestock? Number 20.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow StampedeG on Twitch. Links are down below.